Yeah, I was supposed to die, but Nigel was supposed to be killed off, but it didn't go anywhere. I was like a lot bigger by the last one than they thought, and it just didn't work out having a sort of. I don't think it was innocent enough. I was quite sort of I was much older by then.
Did they film it at all?
I think they wanted some kind of sort of young, emotive death scene, and it didn't work out how it was supposed to. So, but yeah, I think there was supposed to be something there.
Like I say, originally my character wasn't in the books, obviously because of it was supposed to be obviously Crab, Goyle, and Malfoy. So when I first went to the script screening, it was supposed to be my character that died. But then obviously during the filming they switched it to it being obviously Josh and not me, because obviously I wasn't supposed to be in the film itself, so therefore it wasn't right me dying, so therefore they made Goyle die, which is obviously the last film, part 2. But to film, like I said, to film the dramatic scenes was amazing to have, like I said, the special effects and everything going on. It was a great experience, and like I said, unfortunately it wasn't me that died, but I was happy enough to live and to survive, so that's all I can really say about that. Obviously when I got scripted for the part, they said to me, obviously, reading the books, you're not in the books, so therefore it's going to be hard for the audience to kind of figure out what's happening. My job was to kind of make you forget that it was supposed to be Crab instead of Blaise, and hopefully I kind of done that for you, I made you kind of forget that it wasn't supposed to be Crab, and it was supposed to be Crab and not me, but then it worked out me, not Crab, so yeah, I just tried to do the best job I could to make, obviously, the audience forget that I wasn't supposed to be there. When I started Half-Blood Prince, I kind of made Blaise my own character, so therefore, obviously, reading the script, I kind of knew what I had to do, and I wouldn't say it was such hard, but it was more sort of getting used to being there, being in the film when I shouldn't have been. That was sort of the hardest thing. But then once you had the couple of days of obviously being there, it just runs smoothly.
I had quite a general audition. I was very, very young, but they asked me to commentate a football match, and they're like, whatever you want to do. So I commentated for Arsenal, show support, and it was the golden days. So it was like really good players like Perez and Henry. So I sort of commentated the football match, and they liked it. So it had nothing to do with Nigel or anything like that. But I suppose it was what his character was like, quite sort of energetic, and I think they just wanted to see how I'd react. I was quite young. My audition, I had 3 auditions to obviously get the part over the space of the summer. And when I did go for the first audition, I did have a script with my character on it. I remember the lines on the script, it was a scene with me and Malfoy. And I remember I had to meet the casting director. Obviously I had to meet her first time, and then I went back and I met Fiona Weir the second time. And then I was lucky enough to go to my third audition where I met Tom Felton. And obviously I walked into the room, and on Harry Potter you've got the 3 Davids. You have David, the producer, you've got David, the 2 producers, and obviously the director. So I walked into the room and they were literally sat like you are, and you had Tom Felton sat beside. They made me read through the lines normally, and then obviously they bring Tom in. For me, it was nice to sit there and read the lines with Tom, and in a way it kind of raised my performance in the audition, which I was happy about, I was glad about, and yeah, so after that audition they offered me the role, and there I was.
My first audition was, I remember, it was in a broom cupboard in Fiona's offices in near Richmond, and they sort of ushered me in. I knew it was for Harry Potter, but they hadn't told me what the character was for, so they put me in this tiny little broom cupboard with her assistant. We just talked about my holiday, and then a couple of weeks passed, they asked me back for another one, and they asked me back for another one. I think 3rd or 4th one, I knew we must be getting close, because it was a sort of narrowed down, pared down kind of group audition. And I went along. I got there a little bit early, and they were casting this Susie. Lily was cast, a girl called Susie, and didn't make it into the film. I got there about an hour early, and they were using a studio in Notting Hill, and I was walking around. All these lilies had just come out, and obviously they got all the lilies in together to see them all as one group. It was amazing. There was sort of, I guess, about 50 amazingly beautiful, red-headed English rose-type girls all walking towards us. I thought, if a bomb goes off in this part of London right now, that's the entire breeding stock of the ginger race in England gone. That's all of them dead. And we went in and had the sort of group workshop, and a friend of mine was actually, a few friends of mine were there. Aaron Johnson, Kick-Ass, was there, and he was in the room, and he and I were the same age, and there was a couple of other guys who I hadn't seen in ages, and I thought there's no way I was going to get part. So we were just playing these games, and one of the games was you had to run around and bash people on the head. You had to touch 10 people on the head, and sit down and put your hand in it. And in the room, everyone was going around trying to touch him, but of course, everyone else was trying not to be touched. And David Heyman was sat there, David Yates was sat there, I think a couple of the assistant producers were sat there, and a few of the other execs were just in the corner, in a row of chairs, all sat on the side. So I was the only one. I looked at them and thought, 5 stationary targets. So I was like, bam, 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 bam. I won the game, sat down, hand in the air straight away. And I remember looking over at David Heyman, and at that point, my friend came and said, "He said, you idiot. You're never going to get cast now." And then we did one more audition at Riverside with me and Susie, and then they gave the script. Then everything was up. But until that point, I thought, if anything, I thought I might get serious. But there's no way that person was James. And then I saw Fiona later, and she said, "We knew about 10 seconds into your very first meeting when you were in the broom cupboard. We knew." I was like, "Well, why couldn't you have told me? You would have saved me a lot of stress." But no, that's the way it goes. The original script, because they send through for all the films, they write way too much, and then they cut it down, and you get yellow pages and pink pages, and you insert them in. So at the end, the script looks like a rainbow. But that script originally, the very first version, actually started in the exam room with James there, sort of, and he's just finished his exam, and then you've got the boys walking along, and he's playing with a snitch. Actually, in one of the auditions, I was playing with an imaginary snitch. It was all there. And then, I guess about a few months before we started filming, they started editing, started paring it down and cutting it back. And then eventually, the scenes that we shot were starting with us coming up the hill as we do. And then Lily came in, and you had the whole brilliant bit where Lily comes in and saves Snape. But yeah, just didn't make it inside.
Harry Potter. Harry Potter. If I could play any part in the film, it would have to be Harry Potter. It's the special one. It's the chosen one.
We were asked this the other day. So we were asked this in the interview the other day.
I said Neville.
Yeah, you said Neville.
Nice.
I've been thinking about it. I said Snape at the time, but I've changed my mind. McGonagall. I think I would have been an excellent McGonagall.
Could you have pulled off the hair?
Totally.
Okay.
I wear that on a Friday night anyway. No, I think McGonagall would have been fun. She's badass, yeah, that'd be good.
I agree. Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you so much for
Very
your time.